Hi there, today I'd like to take a look at this product. It's the Bissell PowerFresh Lift-Off Pet. Lots of different features on this thing. There's a detachable handheld steamer, the easy scrubber on the floor piece, smart set steam control. It mops your floors and you can use it as a handheld as well. Here is what it comes with. Here's the manual. Here's all the pieces. The manual is a little light. Could have a little more details in it. So the accessories, all of these get a little microfiber. This microfiber pad attaches to this piece over here, and it just attaches by the hook and loop. I'm not going to spend too much time on the accessories because I think this bit of it is useless. I tried using the little bristle brush part, and this already, the plastic already started melting and giving away. Now it's permanently bent off, and I'm sure if I kept using it, I'd kill this pretty quick. Here's the harder bristle one, stiffer bristles. They did not provide a little thingy to, what are those called? To put this in, but this thing does a pretty good job if you're careful to not spill. And that little plasticky rubber piece, it does come right off if you pull on it. So just fill it up with water, and this is just a silicone gasket thing, so you just press it on. Here are your controls. Once you plug it in, the ready light will turn on. You have to actually push on off, and then you have to select low or high to get the steam going. Now I'm not sure if you can hear that, but it's actually gurgling right now. And it sounds like steam is coming out. And we already have steam. Now you can see the steam coming out there. This thing is a steam machine. That is the dark spot there. That's where all the steam is coming out. But it does get everything wet enough to collect a lot of dirt. So one of the things that I used to hate about all these steamers is that it was extremely hard to push. They used the microfiber cloths, and it was always like such a chore to push it. This one is an absolute joy to push. And what I found out was the reason why the other ones were hard to push is because they didn't get enough steam. It was too dry. As soon as you got it wet enough, then it was easy to push. And also maybe, you know how I was telling you that the microfiber cloth, this one has bigger fingers. And so I think that plays a part in it as well. But for whatever reason, this is the first one that I've tested out and tried that it's an absolute ease to use. It heats up really quick. The steam comes right out, and then it's really easy to use and push. And it's really nice and tall and comfy. It was really easy to get set up. And all you have to do is push it, and then it stays. And then to release it, you just hold it down, and then there you go. It also has this little bit on the back. You just push this with your foot and push it until it locks. It's held on by this piece, and this is a really, really scrubby brush. So then you can really scrub on a spot, and then when you're done with it, you just push that, and you can do all that with your foot as well. So to use that scrubby brush feature, all you're going to do is push it down with your foot until it clicks, and then you can scrub. You can hear it scrubbing. Then you're done with it. Just click it again, and I'm just using my toes. My foot is blocking, but I just use my toes and just touch that white button again, and then it pops right out of the way. You push this to release the handheld portion. So once you've pushed this, then you also have to make sure that the cable is not wrapped around the back, because the cable's got to follow this thing. So then you have this thing. Cable comes out here. Here are your controls. It'll stand up like this, and here's where you put the water in. So then it stands like this. You push this to release, and to attach it, it actually turns on and locks. So you turn and then lock it in. And then you have your little handheld and all of the different attachments. But what you don't have is the control for on and off. And the problem with that is you're holding this, it's shooting out steam, and then you got to reach for this unit over here while this thing is shooting out steam. So you're holding in one hand, and what if it's just out of your reach, you know? What if you can't be having it just shooting out steam everywhere? I hate it. Also, if you have this sitting there, then I've done it before where I've pulled or whatever, and this thing just falls right over. And there's no other good way to have it lay down. You know what I mean? Because the cord is out this side, so it has to be standing like this. But I mean, it's so easy to just tip that over because you got this huge thing here. You can also put this piece on, and so it'll just go on there, and then you just have this little bit, and then you're controlling it right there, and you know your on-off is all right there and stuff. But basically, I just hate the handheld portion. Here it is as the handheld lift-off part of it. Okay, so the ready light is on. I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to turn it on high. And there is no trigger, it's just going to start going. There's no way for me to turn it on and off. So first off, you saw that it took a little while to build up that steam, you know, after I turned it on and turned it on to high. And in the meantime, it's dripping all over the place. Usually, if I had a little trigger, then I'd be able to keep it off until enough pressure had built, and then activate the trigger and start going. But now I can't. Okay, so now I'm trying to scrub, and I got one hand on this. I can't set this down because that's dangerous. I don't want to damage something. I can't do all that, and I want to go turn it off. Okay, so I'm going to go turn this off. I'm just going to hit the on-off button. Now the steam has stopped coming. So overall, absolutely love it as a floor cleaner. Absolutely hate it as a lift-off piece. I'm sorry, but you have to have a trigger, something on-off trigger, where you can, you know, shut it on and shut it off exactly with steam, because that's dangerous. And you can't be waiting several seconds while steam is just spouting out after you shut it off. That's just not right. So anyways, if there are any questions, go ahead and leave them for me in the comments below. Otherwise, thanks for watching.
Okay, so I have this taken apart, but I'm just putting it together just to show you guys. This is where it leaks out. And it's actually supposed to come through here, because then it collects over here in the base of the handled part, and like kind of like the holding part for the device. And then it comes through here, so it actually comes out with the steam. But I'll show you why it leaks for me, because this little hose right here is where it drips out of. And if there's too much, it's because it's caused buildup. So this little hose runs through here, and then I guess this is like a little pump, and then down in here is the heating element. And I already know this is the issue again, even with using my home's filtered water. If you can see this, that's calcium buildup, and that's probably got it all clogged up inside the heating element for the second time around, and probably all the other rounds that I've had with replacing this now 3 times. So I would probably debating either if I want to demineralize it a second time and then maybe just getting store-bought water, because using my home source is not beneficial or any type of benefit to, or positive benefit to this steam mop. I'm kind of been frustrated with it for quite some time, having to replace it 3 times now, and this issue is still not resolved even after like about 3 years of me having the same exact steam mop and having the same issue. So Bissell, please try to help out with this situation, or maybe discontinue it, because I don't want other people to get frustrated with it as I have been. I really love the steam mop, but when it becomes a problem like this, it's not worth it anymore.
This is my Bissell PowerFresh steam mop. I've only used it like 6 times. I've had it for, I don't know, a year or 2, but I could never get it to work right, so I don't usually use it. I decided to give my things a steam, and you can hear that noise. I had set it on, and it's just making that noise, and I've got water all over the floor now, but no steam. I see no steam. Cold to the touch, no steam whatsoever.
Much better going backwards.
with that. Is that better?
Yeah, and that's what I'm curious on the other
Okay.
piece where it says 2 3.